It's nice and early in the morning. There's still a lot of dew on the fence and on the tree limbs, a little bit of fog in the air. Some of the birds are nesting over there. I need to walk over there sometime, show you guys. You gotta get past part of the swamp, but it's pretty cool. There's it's just a lot of beautiful Mother Nature. We have sandhill cranes, we have blue herons. They fly back and forth across here all the time to get to the lake. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning. We got a couple things we need to accomplish today. Probably one is more important than the other. But right now I'm down here by the one that's not quite as important. We want some knotty pine boards for part of our accent wall inside the house. You can see the ends are not the same height. I've got to measure the height of the pith on this end, then lift this end up to get the piths at the same height. This is a crotch here, so it has two piths. Now I'm going to want those set approximately level with each other, which it looks like they're pretty close. I'm going to have to put something under this end, lift this end up so those two piths are approximately the same height as this pith on the bigger end. I'm going to probably get that done and get it ready while Judy's inside getting ready to come out. And then her and I have to get our saws and pruning shears and stuff like that out. Our fruit trees are way out of control. They need some major pruning, and because they have been neglected for so long, we're going to have to go through and just do some kind of major stuff on them this time and try to get them downsized somewhat closer to where they need to be. And since we're in the middle of April, they say in months with R, but really we're beyond. It should have been done 2 to 5 weeks ago probably, but we're going to do some of it here before the end of April, and then next year we'll get out and get a little earlier start and do a fancier job on them, a little nicer job. But we just have too much going on, too many different things that need to be done, and they're all important. So it's kind of hard, you know, when you start thinking, I got to do this first. No, I've got to do that first, and then no, I've got to do this first. So you have so many things that need to be done first. Pretty soon you just got to choose one and try to get something done and move on. And that's kind of where, oh, there's a bluebird. Oh, those things are so pretty. Look at that little bluebird up there. A few years ago, we had a nest of indigo buntings out there in our fruit trees, and that was beautiful. But, oh well. Okay, I feel like that dog, like, squirrel. There goes my attention. Okay, we are at 7.5 inches to the center of that pith tree, right there. 7.5. Now we go check the other end. Let's see here. That is at 5 3/4 right there on that one. You can see I'm measuring from the bottom of my level. This is at 7 1/8. So I need to lift this end up a little over 1 inch and rotate it a whisker, or even if it doesn't rotate, if I can get this end up, yeah, about 1 inch or so. This whole log up, say 3/4 of an inch, I think we'd be close enough. Well guys, like I was saying, today is a multitasking day. And one of the tasks we needed to do was burn this pile in our little campfire ring. Had a bunch of scrap and brush and briars and 8 or 10 dead mice on top that went into that bucket trap that I made that has some water and antifreeze in the bottom of it. So we want to get that burnt because we didn't want any animals coming over here and try to eat those mice, because it would kill the other animals. And we wouldn't want one of the neighbor's dogs or anything else to get that stuff. But the mice are doing damage in our barn, chewing on wiring, doing all kinds of stuff. So they can move elsewhere and live, but not inside of my barn. So got that lit. I had a bucket that had some old motor oil and old hydraulic fluid in it. I put a couple scoops of that along with a little bit of old gasoline that's probably 3 or 4 years old. It's not non-ethanol, it's just old no lead gas. Put a little bit of that in there, drizzled over that, torched it, and it took right off. It didn't no woof or anything like that. It was mixed, diluted enough that the gas didn't have any explosiveness. Just helped it light. Now later on, when Judy gets out here, over there is where our apple trees are. Around the corner a little farther is where our peach trees are, and then our cherry trees. And then over this way we've got a couple of plum trees and pear trees over here. So yeah, we'll be on those, and you'll see what I mean, how most of them, some of them we got into and pruned a little bit a little over a year ago. Actually, it's probably been close to 2 years ago. They were getting way too big, way too tall. We got into some of them, didn't have time to do them all. So we're going to get into some of the rest of them, get them pruned down to size better, and take a big step towards making them the way they need to be. Next year we'll do a little more fine tuning on them. Okay, time to get the tractor. I got to move the Polaris out of the way. I was putting our pruning equipment in there. Move that out of the way. Take the tractor over there with the forks on it and a strap, so I can lift up the end of that log and put a shim under it on the sawmill there. Get that ready. Hang in there with me, and we'll get stuff done. Also guys, one other thing I need to do is to stick up a brush hog on the back. I use that for a counterweight. It sticks out so far that it has a lot of leverage. The farther it sticks out from the rear tires, the more leverage it gives you for a counterweight. So I leave it on there a lot, but it is a pain in the butt as far as when you turn sharp, it swings wide and hits stuff, so you got to be careful. But our driveway's getting me a mess. A tornado came through here a few days ago, and the center of it didn't hit where our house is, but the outskirts of it did. It rained real hard, rutted out the driveway in a few places, so I'm going to back drag the driveway with our box blade. Try to get that done today too, amongst other things. Okay guys, I gotta take a minute, stir this fire a little bit, some of these pieces put in the hot spot so they'll take off good. And yeah, we'll get this going and we'll move on to other stuff, but I gotta get this stuff burned up. You know, for the longest time I've heard people talk about wanting to control the direction of the smoke. You know, they're always worried about controlling the direction of the smoke. And I learned a little secret a long time ago, how to control that direction of the smoke. What you do is you walk around to the side of the fire where you want the smoke to go, and it's going to come at you. Or you move your chair if you're sitting up on it. Move it to the side where you want smoke to go, it'll come at you. Simple as that. So what you got to do is get a friend to come over, have them move so the smoke can go right down. That up about 3/4 of an inch. Stuff laying down here. here to the fruit trees. See what we can do out here. The first batch here is apple trees, and then peach trees. What, there's one apricot tree or something?
Oh, look at the cherry trees.
Oh yeah, cherry trees starting to bloom. Oh, the one down there is big time, yeah.
This one right here. I'm going to work on that. There's a cherry tree in there.
Which one do you want to work on?
I'm going to work on this little one right here.
Oh, straight ahead? It's all overgrown?
The apples are starting to bloom already.
Okay. Well,
We should probably clean this one.
yeah. Yeah, we got briars and stuff to pull out. Should have better gloves with us. Oh, some of these, the tree almost died out. Like straight ahead was that little, right there. That big cherry tree there and the one over from it, both those put out a ton of cherries a couple years ago.
Yeah, and these two need to be cleaned. I'm going to work on these.
Okay. Like I was saying, guys, some of these have been neglected bad. This one right here was so heavy with peaches. It was 2 years ago, and we didn't do any pruning. But see this limb right here? It was so heavy with peaches that it broke right off. So, and it's probably 20 feet tall, and it needs to be trimmed big time. You can see, we did some over there. Can't see them very good, but we did some pruning on those over there. It was 2 years ago. Planned on doing more last year, didn't get it done. So these things are just so overgrown. They are going to need some major pruning if they aren't too far gone to even be any good anymore. Hopefully we can save them. See all the briars on this one here. We bought a whole pallet full of mulch to put around the bottom of them, but there it sits. We got to get all the briars out of the way first. I think we better go up and get some better gloves.
Neglected since I had my cancer.
Yeah, probably. That's when it mostly started. When you had cancer there, we couldn't come out and do our stuff. And 2 different bouts of cancer, 1.5 years apart. And yeah, they've been neglected mostly ever since. 2 years ago, we did do a little bit of work out here. Okay, we probably better go get some better gloves, babe.
Yeah, I don't have any.
And I'll get a file so I can sharpen your pruners a little bit.
Okay.
Okay guys, these trees are a prime example of how not to take care of a fruit tree, an orchard, whatever. Back when Judy got her first bout with cancer, we kind of let everything go, and these trees got to be, you know, some of them 25 foot tall. The trunks are that big around on some of these apple trees like this one here. So some of what we're doing is major surgery, and you're not going to see the benefits of it for a year or two. But major surgery now and a little bit more fine tuning next year. We've got 4 trees here that we did some major surgery on, like I said earlier, I think 2 years ago. Because last year, again, we were too busy working on the house to do any upkeep on it. They need some fine tuning now. This one here, we didn't do much to it last year. We took 1 or 2 limbs out of it, but it needs a lot of pruning. So what we want to do is on the inside of there, we want to remove some of the stuff on the inside that's going kind of straight up. This one doesn't have a whole lot of straight up, but any of the ones kind of like growing towards the middle, we want to start removing some of them. And then eventually we're going to take some off to start shrinking this thing down a little bit. I'm not going to run my power saw anymore today. We're just about done for the day. But I'm going to start nipping some of the inside stuff off, and then tomorrow we'll get up and start, I'll have to bring my ladder up here. I got a 10-foot tall 3-legged orchard ladder, and Judy got me for Father's Day one year. And I'll bring that out here and start trimming some of the tall stuff off and getting this down more manageable. This bears really nice fruit, this tree does, but most of it's too high to get at, so they end up rotting up there until they fall on the ground. We can get the ones down low, but the tree is just too darn big, so we're going to do a little more cutting on it.